This recording? Is it? Okay, all right. Oh. Okay, real quick, guys. Josh left his whole setup. It's me, Barista Josh, back, and I just have to tell you, he's gonna tell you that this product is amazing and that he loves it. I'm gonna tell you something, he's insane. Don't listen to him, he's crazy. This product, there is no way that a $20 piece of equipment can do as well as a $3,000 espresso machine. That is insane. Don't listen to him. He's coming. Just don't listen to anything he says, okay? Just ignore everything. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness, guys. I am sorry about that. Let me just get set up here real quick. Guys, I am so sorry. He has just gotten very aggressive recently, and there are just some things that, people are just stuck in their ways and they don't want to see what can be good. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Something that when you look at it, it doesn't seem like it should be good. This $25 attachment to an AeroPress doesn't seem like it should be a good thing or worth your money, but it is. And at the end of this video, stick around because I'm gonna be giving away one of these. So if you wanna win one of these, stick around to the end. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So sorry about that intro. That was unacceptable, and I will be talking to him about that later. But we have a lot to talk about because today we're talking about the fellow Prismo. And as I said beforehand, stick around to the end because I'm giving one of these away and you'll want to know how to enter. This little device, it's very small. Let's take it out of the box. It's a very small device, and what it does is it actually attaches to your AeroPress. Now, before we get into this, let me see if I can relate to you. I'm sure many of you are like me and you don't have a large disposable income to spend on a $1,000 or even a few $100 espresso machine. And that's sad because you want a good way to make coffee at home. Or maybe you want a good way to make espresso on the road. That is where this little device comes in. It's quite simple, honestly. All it does is you pop out your AeroPress like you normally would, all your beautiful accessories, and you pop the normal bottom off. The normal, where you put the paper filter on, and you just kind of throw it away. Whoops. And then you pop on this nice metal filter. You'll notice that it has a little seal here at the bottom. It's a pressure seal. We'll talk about that in a second. And then it has a nice metal filter. But you pop that on like you normally would. And when you do, you'll notice it has a much snugger seal than your regular AeroPress filter. And that is because this is an airtight seal in order to generate pressure. So for any of you that know anything about espresso, you know that in order to brew espresso, you need hot water like you would for any coffee, but you'll also need pressure. And actual espresso machines produce around 9 atmospheric bars of pressure in order to brew an espresso. That's how you get that thick viscosity to it, how you can brew it so quickly through a very compact puck. And it takes a lot of pressure, and that's a lot of times why these machines are so expensive. But with this is supposed to replicate that in a small setting that you can do at home. And I've been using this for a few weeks now, probably almost a month at this point. And I was introduced to it by a friend, shout out Ben Gritter, and he made me this little cortado. And honestly, I was quite impressed. The flavor was pretty delicious. The texture was a little funky, but overall, for something that cost $25, I was rather impressed. And I was like, you know what? I need to try this out. So rather than me talking to it and you just staring at my face this whole time, we're gonna brew one together and we're just gonna talk through the whole process. So in order to do this, all you're gonna need is, your AeroPress, your fellow Prismo filter, a coffee of your choice, ground for espresso, so it needs to be ground very fine. You can either do this with a hand grinder or you can get it ground when you buy it in an espresso grind. You'll notice an espresso grind is much finer because you are only extracting for a shorter amount of time, which means you need more coffee to come in contact with that water. If you have it as a coarse grind, like you would for maybe a pour over, then you won't extract as much. It'll be very watery, not very good. When it's finely ground, you'll start to mimic that espresso. And that's what we're going for. We're mimicking an espresso because you're not gonna get a perfect espresso, but you'll be able to do some pretty interesting things with it. So your next step is to weigh out your coffee. In here, you can do a pretty standard ratio of about 20 grams of coffee to about 40 grams of hot water. That's kind of where I like to start at. And then after you get the water in, you just want to give it a few couple stirs, make sure it is incorporated, and then you're just going to want to let it sit. And this is where the experimentation part comes in. Most people recommend to let it sit for a minute and, you know, tasting it and then kind of going from there. You can really let it sit for as long as you want. You can experiment with the amount of coffee you put in. You can experiment with the amount of water you put in. There's a lot of variables you can mess around with. We're gonna let this one sit for a minute, and then come the end, we're gonna give it one final quick stir. We're gonna put the plunger on, press it out. You'll notice it won't start coming out until you hit a certain pressure. And that, again, is supposed to mimic that pressure that you would get in an espresso machine. And then in the end, you are left with this very nice little espresso. It's a very small amount, obviously. And yeah, it's honestly very simple and straightforward to use. And there you have it, an espresso. So before we make a little drink with this and actually try it, let me just tell you something. The smell, pretty nice. I'll try it straight up. A little over extracted, but that's on me because I was filming during it too, so I messed it up a little bit. But overall, not bad. Here's what it doesn't have. It doesn't have that nice crema like you'd expect from an espresso. It doesn't always have the viscosity and that thickness that you'd want from espresso, but it does have the flavor where it can cut through milk and make a nice beverage. So let's do that right now. Just gonna make myself a nice iced flat white right here. Put in the milk. Grab a few ice cubes. Boom, done. Honestly, not bad. I've had worse flat whites from actual coffee shops. That's pretty tasty, actually. That's really nice. I'm gonna start making that more. But that's the thing is, the beauty of this device is you don't need a big setup to do it. And it also doesn't take you a lot of time. I made this in probably about less than 2 minutes. Once the water heated up, it was very quick, especially since I already have ground coffee, so I didn't need to grind it myself. Obviously, if I needed to grind it myself, it would have taken a little bit longer, but it was a very, very quick process and it made a very tasty espresso. Would I choose this espresso over having an actual espresso machine? No, but also look behind me. This is the kitchen of my apartment. It is not large. If I were to put an espresso machine in there, I would be having words with my roommate because I would take up half of our counter space just with the espresso machine. So this is a great alternative for, if you live in an apartment or, you just don't have a lot of room or you don't have the money. The beauty of this is it's only $25 and you can make a rather lovely espresso with it for only $25. Now granted, if you don't have an AeroPress, then you need to buy an AeroPress too. But the actual attachment itself is only $25. And my favorite part is when you finish it, you get the most beautiful looking puck afterward. Let's see if that'll focus. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It looks like an espresso puck. I mean, it better. It's ground fine enough. Let's try to do this without it falling over. Yeah, look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks incredible. And yeah, it looks like an espresso. It tastes like an espresso. Now, there will be certain people that will say, that's not an espresso, it doesn't have the right pressure, blah, blah, blah. You're right, it doesn't. But guess what? That's fine. It doesn't matter what other people think. What matters is the coffee you're making in the morning delicious? And if it's delicious and you like this method and you're getting tired of brewed coffees and cold brews and pour overs and French presses, this could be a really nice option for you because it'll really expand the things you can do. Combine this with a decent quality milk frother and boom, you have a latte at home. Now, what I will say is I am really excited to take this on a trip in a couple weeks. Not this, not the puck, but this, and really try it out because I think that's where this is going to shine is when you're on a trip and you have enough room to bring your AeroPress, this attachment, and a bag of pre-ground beans. I just think that's gonna open up the world of possibilities, so you don't need to bring instant coffee packets, which we'll have a video on, which we just had a video on, and there's still some good ones, but it just opens up some more possibilities for you, which I really like. So yeah guys, that is the fellow Prismo. It is a wonderful little device, completely worth the money in my opinion, would highly recommend. And because of that, I have this one right here that I will be giving away. Here's what you need to do to enter. 1, make sure you're subscribed to me on YouTube, just click that subscribe button. 2, follow me on Instagram. And 3, comment on the post about this product. It'll just be a nice little photo for the giveaway. Comment on that. Anything you want, just like tag one person basically is all you need to do, and you will be entered to win this. It will cost you nothing. I bought it. I will pay for the shipping to get it to you. All you have to do is do those things to enter. If you forget what you need to do, the instructions are in the description below, or go to that Instagram post, which will also be linked below, and it'll explain everything you need to do. Good luck to everyone. I hope you win this delightful piece of equipment, because it's really fun, and it's really small, and it's really fun to just experiment with and just have some fun with. So, cheers, guys. Thank you for watching. It is so wonderful to have all of you here during this video. Stay caffeinated, stay happy, stay healthy. Have a coffee for me, please. And I'll catch you all in the next video. Bye. That is scrumptious. That is so good! So good! Holy poop, why is that so good?
Yo.